Welcome everyone. Okay, we're going to get started. Fantastic. So thanks everyone for joining. As more people come in, we will they'll obviously join. The session is going to be recorded, so we will be able to distribute a copy. So thank you so much for making the time, and really excited for this. And welcome Gabby as well for joining us. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to dive right in. I'm going to share my screen now, and we shall get started. Let's share my screen here. Fantastic. All right. So welcome to the webinar. So we are the SaaS Jedi and we are Monday partners. And one of the biggest questions we get, especially I suppose in the last year, has just been, there's Monday CRM, there's Monday Work Management. How are they actually different? And there's a bit of confusion. So we're looking to use this short webinar to give you some insights in terms of what are the differences between these two incredible tools. So first thing, in terms of the agenda, we're going to spend a few minutes just on welcome and intros, learn a little bit about us and obviously the purpose of this webinar. We're then going to dive right into the meat of it, which is clearing the confusion. So we're going to talk about, the two different tools, how are they similar, how are they different, and then how you basically can use them in different ways. Then I'm going to hand over to Gabby from Monday, who's kindly joined us to take us through the CRM Roadmap. And then lastly, we're going to close with some just closing and next steps, where to from here. And if you've got any questions, it's a last chance to basically ask them. And then at any point, please use on the left-hand side of your screen, you can drop any kind of comments, questions. Totally encourage you, if you've got any burning questions, please ask them. You can just do that on the left. We'll keep an eye on it and we'll answer those questions. So first thing, welcome to the mansion. This is obviously what the room looks like. Just to help you get your bearing, if you need to learn anything more about CRM, we do have a board on the side here, some interesting stats and insights from the Monday team. You're welcome to go to that and page through those. We have some good links from the little station here. We have a link to our LinkedIn page if you want to see anything there. We've got a link to book your free consult and obviously get access to that ebook that we've prepared. And then also we've got an exciting newsletter that we're launching that's going to have cutting edge insights on Monday's latest features, on use cases, insights for how to automate your processes, ideas around how to use Monday better. So if you want to join that newsletter, please sign up before you leave. All right, and then should you walk around the room and you want to see this all full screen and all of its glory, you can click on the screen to return back to the webinar. And lastly, if you've got any questions, you can just ask them in the chat on the side. Okay, so as I mentioned, my name is Stephen from the SaaS Jedi. A little bit of a background. I'm a qualified chartered accountant. I've got a background in strategy and management consulting, recruitment, programming. I've done it all. And I've spent near on 10 years working with clients to basically improve processes. So really passionate about technology, automating workflows, and basically helping businesses just succeed with technology. And with us is Gabriella. Gabriella, over to you.
Yes, thank you so much, Stephen. Pleasure to be here today. So I'm Gabriella. I'm a CRM Partnerships Manager here at Monday.com. I've been with the company for almost 4 years now. In my day-to-day, I work very closely with our partners, such as the SaaS Jedi, of course, to support our customers on their Monday CRM journey. And maybe one last fun fact as we kick this off is that a few days ago, actually, we crossed 100 million in CRM ARR, which is a very exciting milestone for us. And pleasure to be here today. Thanks for having me.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Gabby. All right, so let's dive in. All right, so we're looking at two tools. We're looking at Monday CRM and Monday Work Management. And really, it is the battle of the titans here. We're going to try and break down what are the similarities between these two tools? For those who've been exposed to Monday over the years, this will obviously be quite a bit different from what you may have seen a few years back. And we're hoping to give you a bit of clarity there. So first thing to clarify, Monday itself is a platform. And CRM and work management, as well as service and dev and anything else that they add on, are effectively tools on the platform. What it means is that they've got a really solid common backbone between all the tools. And that's about 60% of the functionality, probably 80% of the functionality for work management, is very similar, right? So you have a lot of commonality, and the benefit of that is that it's seamless integration between the tools, right? We're not bolting together two abstract tools that kind of look alike. Monday tools are seamlessly integrated. You can move data between them easily. You can connect boards between different tools very easily. But it also means that if you're exposed to one tool, learning another tool is actually really simple. Okay, so what's the same? If we look at two boards here from Monday CRM and from Monday Work Management, one side we've got accounts, the other side we've got team planning. You'll notice they look really similar, right? You've got status columns and dates, items and sub-items and views, and it's all very similar. And really what's important is that the main functionality across the two tools works the same. So your workspaces, boards, items, sub-items, columns, dashboards, updates or the conversations feature, all of your views, automations, and then if you're on enterprise workflows, they're available on both platforms and they work the same way. You may find some slight view differences between the two every now and then, but for the most part, this functionality is solid across the two platforms or the two tools. Okay, so let's dive in first in terms of how CRM differs from work management. So Monday CRM is more focused on contacts, accounts, and external relationships, right? It's about maintaining those relationships, the communications, and keeping track of all of that from Monday. It's got strong functionality around leads, pipelines, and customer and client onboarding, but effectively any kind of pipeline that you've got, right, where you're trying to progress people through some kind of qualification metric, whether it is clients or students or anything like that, where you need them to evolve through stages, Monday CRM is built for that. Obviously, revenue management is key here, forecasting, the reporting, the pipeline, being able to develop multiple different pipelines, really easy and powerful. And then the most powerful is just external communication. So Monday CRM thrives with its emails and activities widget, which we will be covering, as well as some other emailing orientated features that help you kind of keep track of who we're speaking to, how we're speaking to them, their sentiment, and all those good things. Work management, on the other hand, is more focused on task and project management. It's got general cross-functional collaboration as its kind of core, and ultimately really good for custom builds, right? So if you're trying to do any kind of workflow in your team, your default is going to be Monday Work Management. If you're doing task management, projects, or just trying to collaborate between different teams, it's the main kind of tool for that. So what does Monday CRM do differently? So the first thing is pipeline management. So we've got a demo here, we've got a leads board. You'll see we can score leads. In this case, we've got a lead and we're going to change that status to qualified. As soon as we do that, Monday automations kick in, moves it to the right group, but we also start populating important areas of the rest of the CRM. So the first thing is we're going to create a contact card because it didn't exist yet. We're then also going to create an opportunity for this one. So if we search, you'll see there it's Moon Cyber Deal. You can see already connected to Liam Smith, and we've got all of the pipeline goodness there. And then obviously we're also going to have an account for the Moon company in this case that has already been created. And all of that flows really well. What's also really nice is on Monday Enterprise, especially for CRM, you've got the ability to have conditional logic. So if you change a status, certain fields have to be updated. So the quality of information is always solid, and it means that you're working with robust, accurate data. On top of that, you can still track things like deal length, stage length, and we can do all the customization you would normally expect. And you can also use connect columns and mirroring to be able to track, for example, legal workflows, any kind of sub-process. You may be working with security or potentially compliance checklists. All of those kind of things can happen and just feed directly off of the main board, and that's totally customizable the way Monday is. All right, so the next part is account and contact management. This is specifically talking to emails and activities, and it's kind of the magic sauce that makes CRM so powerful. So here we're going to go into contacts. We've got Hayley Moore here. So if we look at her contact, we've got this interesting widget, and the widget's got all of the history. So we've got call notes, we've got a meeting notes, we've also got an email that we sent. We can also send an email. In this case, it's integrated directly with our Google, but it can also integrate with Outlook. We can send an email, and that email sends directly from our mailbox. and it attaches a tracking pixel. So I can see the email there in real time, but also I can track the person's engagement with that. If they open it, if they click anything, I'll see it here. And then an incredibly powerful feature is Monday leveraging AI. So the emails on this may be private because you don't want people seeing your mailbox, but you can use AI summary to summarize the timeline. And then you can actually post that summary directly to the widget. And so anyone from your team looking at this can actually see the details, the summary, key details, the next steps. So really nice to keep everyone aligned. And then in the true essence of Monday's flexibility, we're going to customize this. Although this is the default view, we're going to add a brand new widget called Deal Insights. So this is cutting edge. It's basically an early stage rollout. We're going to move the item around, and you can see in real time, we can actually see positive signals, negative signals, exactly what's happening with this contact. And it even gives us insights around, why are we seeing negative signals? In this case, there's not enough people in the conversation. The part I really love, and obviously you can still connect everything here, but the part I really love is that this information, although we were emailing Heidi out of the contact, if we go to her company page, which in this case is Pillow, we will actually see the history right there, including the updates. So it's able to consolidate that information from contacts, from opportunities, from leads directly against the main account, and it helps us keep track of it. And then lastly is this activities timeline widget, also unique to CRM. You can add it to any board, and it allows you to see, in this case, pink is incoming, blue is outgoing, and you can see how engaged you're being with these contacts. And so you can see, in this case, we could see that Phoenix and Madison, we haven't contacted in a while, and that may be a nice indicator to say we should be dropping them an email. So yeah, really powerful. Next feature is mass emailing. So there may be some updates coming in from Gabby's section, but around some campaign development on Monday's side. Mass emailing at the moment is really cool. It allows you to send, instead of like a mail merge you would normally do, you can just do it from Monday. So you can basically go to your leads. In this case, I'm going to select a bunch. You can customize. I'm going to select a few different ones. I could use filters to select these, and I'm going to mass email them. I've got an email. I've got access to variables. I can even use AI Assistant to potentially write an email. And I can schedule the send. And in this case, I'm going to send it from my help mailbox, and I'm going to send that email. So you'll see it says it's going to notify me as soon as it's done. But in the meantime, I can go across to mass email tracking. I can click on the test email there. And from this, I can actually see the progress. I can see how many recipients delivered, opened, clicked. I can see the email itself. I can also click on these stages to see who has actually been sent that email, right? So I can see who has clicked it, who has opened it. And then one further feature that's really cool is this obviously all integrates with the emails and activities widget. So if I go into the emails and activities, I'm going to see the mass emails there as well, in this case, as the delivery status, because it's a bogus email. So I can see all of that in the email tracking. So it's giving you a comprehensive picture of how we're engaging these contacts and accounts. All right, next one is quotes and invoices. So this is a new feature on Monday. It is developing quite a lot in the last sort of 4 months. It's seen some really nice improvements. I'm going to show you here. So in this case, we're going to create a new quote. I want to start off by creating a new template just to show you what that looks like. So we can customize this. Personally, we use this. We work in multiple countries, so we've got a quote for each region that has different pricing in different currencies for those different regions. So I can create a quote here for the UK. I can set the currency. I can change the date format. I can change the coloring. I can also change, namings, company branding. Anything I want to change, I can do that. I can also then connect this through to a product catalog. So if I have a product catalog with all our services, I can do that. And then lastly, I can even collect email signatures, which is really nice. So that's a new feature as well. So I'm not going to save this template. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go back and just show you what it looks like if I use one of our existing templates. So I can create new. I can use our UK quote. You'll see it's got our logo. Everything is pre-populated there. I can scroll all the way down and I can select an item from our catalog. In this case, I'm going to select a training package. So, we do Monday, we've got our online academy and we get people sort of upskilled on Monday. And so I can modify this. I can say we're going to do 5 seats here perhaps, and we can effectively save this and send it out. So I'm not going to save it now, but we can effectively save that out. And then as we do that, if we go through to the quotes and invoices, we'll see the item right there with the file would normally be attached as soon as you save it, as well as the dates, and you can track the status of sending it and whatnot. So incredibly powerful feature. Again, that is CRM only. All right. Next one is sequences. And I love this one because this is starting to move into more robust sales management. So what we can do, anyone who's familiar with it, is you can basically build out pipelines for how you want to engage audiences. So in this case, we've got a test that's going to have an automatic email when someone joins, a general task to follow on LinkedIn, a 1-day delay to send a threaded email to actually reply to the first email, a call task with a script to say, follow these points, and then a general task just to DM them on LinkedIn. I can now customize this. So if I edit the sequence, I can actually show you what this looks like. So we can choose which mailbox we're sending it out of, which board I want to have access to this sequence, what are the columns for emails and phone numbers. I can choose time zone, what days of the week I want to send items, the durations of the day I want to be able to send. And I can have automation to say, when someone replies, I want to mark them as contacted. If the email bounces, I want to mark them as unqualified. So that's all really nice. And then after this, we can also then get into the enrollments, and this is where it'll track which people are in them and where they are in the stage. So I'm going to go back to the leads board here. I'm going to select a few items. And what you would normally do is you select them and you would say add to sequence, and you would be able to select them from here. First, I want to just show you on the automation side. So I mentioned about automations on Monday being standard, but sequences has its own batch of automations. So in this case, you may want to use something like this where an item is created and roll them in a sequence, but you can just see how many automations there are attached to sequences. So here I'm going to just add them to a sequence manually. I'm going to add them to test. You'll see it automatically adds an active sequence connection there, which is nice. I can see which one, who's been enrolled in what. If I go back to sequences, I can go to the enrollments and I'll see they're both there, and I can see they're both on stage 3. I can then go back to the items, and these emails, communications, and all of this will actually be showing in their feed. So I can literally see the automated email that went out. I can see the task to actually follow up with them on LinkedIn or follow them on LinkedIn. And then if I go back to sequences and I go back to the enrollments, so over here you can see all of the different open rates and reply rates and everything else. And then if I go through to enrollments, I can actually see where they are and then when the next event will be happening. So Monday's doing some really exciting things in this space, some really nice development specifically on the task management here that is coming through. I think it's still in rollout at the moment, but incredibly powerful, and it's just getting better. So that's really exciting. And then of course, no CRM would be complete without reporting and analytics. So I'm going to go straight into an overview here. So we're seeing some widgets here. These are actually gauge widgets. These are brand new to Monday, but they're available across the platform. They just work really well in CRM because you can set targets. So you can see what the annual target is, the monthly target, and because you've got really rich, robust data from the CRM, we can track that progress really nicely. Down on the left here, you'll see there's 2 more gauges. They're just a different style, but those are also gauge widgets. The unique widget here is the conversion funnel. So on our pipeline, we can actually see how they're converting. And from this, we can apply this to leads and pipeline, the works. So we can see all of these metrics. These are all standard Monday widgets. And then there's also an activity tracker. So I can see that Stephen here has been duly sending out his emails and his meetings and all those good things. So we can see how he's performing and how he's engaging the audience. On Monday Enterprise, there's also a really exciting board. There's a bunch of boards, but I love this one. This one allows you to kind of manage your sales teams. So you can actually set goals per person, and you can group them by markets, for example, and this is totally customizable. But it means that every time you have a deal, you can automatically assign it to the resource and actually track their progress against target in real time from the pipeline board using forecasts and the work. So really powerful widget that, at least a board that. All right, so those are the main, and I've really flown through this just to give you a taste on what makes CRM different. Portfolio, just to show you work management very quickly, the main features are portfolio. So this is on Enterprise. We are a bit tight on time, so I may just skip through this quickly, but just to show you the main features. Portfolio is basically a register for all your projects. You can currently have 200 projects connected to a portfolio. So you can have 200 individual project plans connected to it, and it will be syncing data up to the project portfolio. We can obviously use the AI columns and all those good things here. If we go into individual project plans, We also have access to update project health. So this is a standard waterfall project. We can make notes around a project being off track, and we can, give reasons for why that RAG status has been updated. And that information immediately filters up to your project portfolio. So from your portfolio, in the history, you've got access to a new widget, and you can actually see the progress on the RAG status and how a project is evolving over time. Some really key features here, typical Gantt, but we also have a snapshot. Snapshot shows you your projects by the RAG status. So you can go and see done tasks, planned versus actual, project manager, per project, depending on the health of those projects. We can then go into risk insights, which is another really powerful Monday AI feature, which is actually looking at all your projects and trying to give you insights around, where are the risks around your project. And this is, you can set up which risks are important to you. So, items without an owner or delayed timelines. And for each of these risks, you can understand what they are, what the risk is. In this case, it's a timeline delay. And I can address that by, immediately notifying the project manager. AI will write an update for me, and I can then mark that risk actually as addressed, which would then remove it from this list. So I can see it's been resolved, and we can move on from there. We can also filter by risk priority. And then the last thing, which is really cool, is the generate report. So you've got a bunch of different projects. You can use Monday AI to, with a literally one click, generate a report showing you the health of all of your underlying projects. Now, this is unique to Portfolio, specifically Work Management Enterprise. And so from here, we've generated a Monday document. It's got all the insights we need, but this is an editable document. It's not just a PDF that's spat out. It's a robust document we can work with. We can do comments and all of those good things that make it really powerful. And we can collaborate with that. All right. Next one is just resource management, and just show what that looks like very quickly. Effectively, you've got the ability to get a new menu item in your menu on the top right. From here, you can manage your resources. So every single person in your account, you can manage their job titles, their locations, and their skill sets. And then you're able to actually search for people based on location and roles or skill sets. And this can also be used for other features within Monday Work Management, Portfolio specifically for managing capacity. All right. So when to use which? So Monday CRM very broadly is used for when you've got pipeline or stage progression workflows I mentioned. So like recruitment is a good example where you've got candidates potentially moving through stages. It works really well for that. If you want to manage external relationships, it's a must. Contacts, accounts, and the whole emails and activities widget is really powerful. Being able to score leads, so you collect information from multiple sources, you can score those, that's great. And then revenue, sales, and pipeline reporting, and then obviously your email communication, engagement tackling. And work management is a little bit more general, right? So great for project management and tasks, obviously, but it's for your general use cases. So being able to centralize communication, being able for teams just to collaborate, and being able to build any kind of custom workflows for ops and HR, marketing, finance, the works. So whoop through that. I'm going to hand over to Gabby now.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Stephen, for showing us this. And maybe also very important to highlight, even though it's, two separate or like two individual products in the platform, right? They both are very strongly connected and aligned. So there is, even between the two products, a very strong connect. So for the different teams also to play together. All right. So I'm going to go ahead now and briefly share a couple of insights on the roadmap. I'm trusting you can see my screen. Okay. Yes. I think super exciting also to mention our CRM product team is working endlessly on providing you, with additional new features and additional releases. And what you see here is just a very, very high level glance of what we've done so far and also what's coming up. So just to highlight a few ones now here, a recent one in Q2 was the virtual events one. That's actually also the environment you're currently in. Monday Mention is a part of Monday CRM. And if we're looking forward over the next couple of quarters, I will dive into this in a bit more detail. We also have, especially like on the communication side, new channels coming up, integrating the email and activity widget that you've seen with WhatsApp and Teams as well, in improving the forecasting capabilities. So let's do a very, very quick look back. I picked a couple of highlights that were released in Q2. And as Stephen showed, the sequences feature is actually quite a substantial one that we see, sales teams getting very excited about. It allows you to really automate your outreach and get rid of manual tasks, right? And a couple of enhancements that have happened here is basically allowing to manually stop any of the cadences and really having a very clear understanding of how the conversion rates are. So really getting some deep insights and analytics from the cadences, how this work, and how your contacts or your outreach is basically being converted, and allows you now also to add attachments for your outreach. The other one I briefly want to mention as well is in our famous email and activity widget, where you're able to centralize your entire communication with your customers. You're now able to subscribe to a timeline. So that means if you want to stay on top of any communication that any of your colleagues or from another team is doing, you can subscribe to that now. And you can also, within the little search bar now, very simply and easily search for any keywords that have happened over the course of the communication there. And of course, AI enhancements, super important. And Stephen also called out a couple of those in their email and activity widget, for example, being able to get a summary with just one click. But more than that, it's also, easily surfacing customer sentiment or extracting details of business cards, quotes, or invoices. So there's a couple of things that are within the platform already. And what's super exciting is that you're now able to also leverage AI on any of the communication within email and activity. So you can also very simply surface any communication or any aspects within email and activity itself. Okay, upcoming, and I had to be very selective here what I wanted to show you. And Stephen called it out earlier, Monday campaigns. You can actually think of it as a separate product, really, and as the pre-step of what happens in Monday CRM. It's going to be a campaigns product pretty much. So it will allow you to really build, appealing and strong newsletters to send out to your contact base, either existing customers or prospects. And it's very closely linked to the CRM product. Again, allowing you to target your or segment your audience very nicely, and with dragging and dropping, building a very appealing bodies here, and also on the other hand, allowing you to draw conclusions and insights from the performance itself. So I'm speeding through this now. Another highlight, AI-powered meeting agent. This is actually currently in alpha, and as the name suggests, it's basically a meeting bot that you can invite to your meetings, allows you to summarize and transcribe anything that's happening in the meeting. And I think the really powerful thing is here that it will also, immediately add action items into the Monday CRM timeline. So very, very strong connect here with the CRM product as well. And a BDR and SDR assistant is coming up, planned for this quarter, and really should come in and help do the legwork when it comes to defining or building your ideal customer profile, the sourcing of leads, and even with the initial outreach. I think what's important to mention here that it's an assistant that is basically, supposed to do the groundwork, the tough work, and working alongside your BDR and SDR teams then with the actual outreach and communication. And last but not least, a little goodie or also like takeaways. As Stephen called out earlier, we have two amazing features in beta at the moment. It's the products widget. It basically allows you to combine or attach products right within the email and activity view as well, and see how these connect to quotes and invoices. And the other one is the deal insights that Stephen showed us as well, basically to surface with just one click why a certain deal may be at risk or may be progressing nicely. And both of these, if you're interested in trialing any of these, then I would suggest to raise your hand, speak with Stephen, and then we can certainly get you on board to access these features in their current alpha and beta stages. And with this, I'll hand it back over to you, Stephen.
Amazing. Thank you so much. All right. So I know we are just a moment or two over, but what I would just like to say is, we're going to just go through questions now, but please, before you leave, please make sure that you go to the little globe there, click on that, and you can book your consult. Everyone is welcome to, if you want just 30 minutes to just chat about this. If you've got any specific questions, book time with us. Our time is yours. And then also, if you book that session, you will get a copy of this ebook that we've prepared. We've actually prepared a book going through some of the key sort of ideas and our experience on setting up Monday CRM right. As you get it out the box, what you should be doing to make it really work and powerful. All right. So with that out the way, some questions I see we have. So first thing, Julian, is there any feature to allow us to manage supplier contracts? So that depends on the workflow you build. That could potentially also be a service thing. Monday Service has SLA management specifically. It's something slightly different there. That said, on CRM, you can actually build out workflows to do that. And you can also use Monday AI to extract insights from the contracts themselves. So if you've got a contract that you've loaded to a board, you can actually have specific insights being pulled out of that, such as what is the critical turnaround time, things like that you could potentially build out. Claire, do the tools work together? Can work management users see the data on CRM? Absolutely. As Gabby mentioned, these tools are built together on Monday as a backbone. They integrate seamlessly. If you've got users on work management and users on CRM, they don't even both have to have paid licenses on both. You can actually connect the items between the boards and give view-only access. And so you can actually share information from your CRM around contacts and accounts with execution users. Joe, no problem. We'll absolutely send this out. Yes, on inventory, there actually is a module on Monday. Happy to pick this up with you, Emmanuel. To do inventory management on Monday, there's a plugin specifically built for it. Otherwise, you can also do CRM works really well. So if you're specifically talking around trying to sell these products, you can build that on Monday CRM. Super. All right, so definitely, please, everyone, thanks so much for your time. Please sign up for our newsletter if you can, book your consult, and it's been great having you. And let us know if you've got any questions.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.